Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today I'm going to be unboxing, reviewing, in detail, the Loyal Knights Patron's Coffer, alright, from the new available at the LOTRO store. We're going to check it out today. We're going to see what I like about it, and we're going to cover it. I'm going to look at it on all the different races for you guys. I will do my best. Remember, we'll look at some color differences in the wardrobe to see different colors. I don't have all the dies to check it, but we'll go through the wardrobe and look at a couple just to see. And we'll look at the animal it comes with. It comes with a nice little goose there with a nice little Gondorian helmet. Show off your patriotism for Gondor, apparently. I was kind of giggling because this came out for us USA people around 4th of July, so I'm like doing my flags in the yard and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, look, Gondor too, let's do it for Gondor. But let me just say right off the bat, it's pretty darn cool. It's a pretty darn cool one. So anyway, let's get straight into it. All right, so now that we're here on my character, we're gonna go ahead and open it, what it gives. I will link in the description the what all the details on which the different levels give. I will be opening the big one that has all of the stuff in it, including like the mithril coins it comes with, which can be helpful that it comes and just drops on there, you know, edition. Whoever you put the code on, or I should say whoever you buy it in game with, you have to go buy it through the LOTRO store usually. You can just go ahead and you'll get this one on every single character, which is the Loyal Knights, not that one, this one, the Luxury Cosmetic Coffer. And I'll explain it as we go here real quick, but just right off the bat, you also will get this one whoever you purchase it on. This will go across your account, right? That server world, at least, account. Make sure we're distinct on there. And it should give you 500 Milthra coins. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Look at that. It gave me 500 Milthra coins. So sweet. Awesome. It also gives you some virtue experience. It gives you 6 of these 2,500 virtue experience. They're bound to account, which is fantastic. You can just share them to your alts. This character doesn't need it, but my other characters do. So what I'll do is I'll probably just going to go ahead and drop that in my rep stuff I have there. Whoop, on the side. And now we're going to go ahead and open the Loyal Knights Patreon's Luxury Cosmetics. Very, very cool. Also, big shout out and thank you to Standing Stones. They actually gave me this so I could review it for you guys, and I appreciate that greatly. All right, so let's go ahead and see it. Again, I'm going to give you my full breakdown and review on things with it, though. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. The first thing you get is again, every character will have this particular box that I just opened. It sounded like it said block. We have the Tome of the Loyal Goose of Gondor. We have the Steed of the Loyal Knight. And we also have the Milestone style of the Loyal Knight emote. So this is a back animation. Milestone animation means it's a back animation. So there is no walk animation. Very interesting. Some of the more recent ones they haven't been doing a walk animation for. That probably is a lot more stuff on the system and things. So, but I'd like to see a couple more of those. The movie animations are pretty cool too. But I'm glad they have the Milestone one there. So we're going to go ahead and look through all of these right now. And before I forget, yes, the titles. So when you first get it, it should automatically give the title to all your characters on that server world account. Actually, I think it's account-wide, so you should get it on all the servers for the titles. Technically, you should get all of this across all servers, as long as it's the same account. I'm pretty sure. The mithril coins shouldn't, though. They should only be on your server world. They're not going to get 500 mithril for every server you're on. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that and leave a comment if I'm wrong on that, but I'm 99% sure I'm right on that. So now let's go ahead and real quick, let me show you the titles we got, okay? All right, here they are. You can find them quickly. If you miss them, you can always just go to newest and then go to events. They put it under event. You can see here we have Knight, Zollin Ironshield, which is very cool. This is the one you're going to get with the ultimate. In fact, let's just look at that. Let's make sure that I'm saying this correctly for you guys. So you got the different levels of the ones you can get. You get all of them here, prefix Knight. So this is kind of cool thing because it's a prefix. I think I might have had it backwards. Let me just double check. Indeed I did. So that's why I wanted to double check. So these are the titles you get in order. You get the Loyal Knight. Then you get, if you get the next level up one, you get the Loyal Knight and the Fountain Guard, which are really cool titles. And then if you get the ultimate luxury one that we are reviewing here, gives you all three, you get the prefix of Knight. Knight Zollin Ironshield. Sounds pretty cool, actually. I really like that. But anyway, that is really awesome. I'm gonna have to get this for my friend Night Chaos. Some of you know him from, he comes on the channel sometimes. He needs this, even though he doesn't really play LOTRO, but he needs this title. So anyway, there we go. That's it. And let's go ahead and go look at all the fun stuff now. So why don't we start with go ahead and look at the emotes. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click Learn the Emotes. I will look at the emote differently on every character for us. We're going to go into our collection real fast. I won't talk quite as fast so I don't drive anyone crazy, but I like to go a little faster because I've been doing a review. Not everybody wants to be here for an hour, so let's go ahead and do Milestone. I'm just going to type Milestone, and the new one is called Milestone Night. So I'm going to turn that on. Okay, so right-click that, turn that on. I like using the emotes. You could technically use the slash commands, but it's just more work, I feel like, sometimes to remember all that and teach everybody that. So let's use any back animation. I'm going to cancel it, but let's just see what it looks like. All right, so you do your little banner and you bow, and that is your teleport animation. You can see I'm going to disappear at the end there. That's pretty cool. Let's see that one more time. And also, I'd like to hear the animations a bit more for you guys. So let's turn the music off, and let's turn up sound effects, and let's do it one more time. You got the banner coming out, and then at the end you kind of like start standing up right before you teleport. That's cool. That's really cool. I really like that a lot. That's really, really awesome. Very nice indeed. I approve of this back animation. That's very cool. My favorite has still got to be my two favorite out of all of the supporter packs that we've seen so far in LOTRO in general. Again, these supporter packs are, the reason they call them supporter packs is so it's just fun cosmetic stuff, and it's to help support the game to purchase it, and that's pretty cool. So it's a great way to support the game and also get some fun stuff. Because you don't have to get any of this, right? This is all for fun. But I really like the back animation from the previous Umbar one where it's a little, you put your hands up and a little storm goes around, and I like the one that you like look through your pack and like put your stuff in your bag before you teleport. Those are really cool. I like those. But this one is really good. I like it. So let's go ahead and look at the horse. We're going to learn that real quick. The horse is going to, it also gives you the stuff for your Cosmetic war mount, by the way, just so everyone is clear on that. It says it right here. It gave me cosmetic stuff for my war mount in 2. So if I was going to, get on my war mount, which it's not going to automatically show it, but let me just show you real fast. You go in here and you go into your appearances. There it is. I've got the new Loyal Knight cosmetics as well. You can see all the little red dots are the new ones. So, very cool. So that's something cool you can kind of look at there. But let's go ahead and bring up the actual mount and let's ride around on it. We'll do a couple animations on it. We'll ride around on it. I probably should put the armor on before we ride around. I'm going to go back. We're coming back to the horse in a minute, okay? Let's get the Loyal Goose of Gondor. We're going to learn that real quick. All right. There we are. And now let's go ahead and open up the Loyal Knights Patron Luxury Wardrobe Cosmetics. Now, I want to be clear. This is something that they've been doing with every supporter pack, and I think it's important for you all to know, if you're newer. Every character is going to get that previous box that I opened up, and it gave us the pet, the mount, and the milestone emote. And then it gives you a separate box that says your cosmetic wardrobe. The cosmetic wardrobe will always have all of the cosmetic gear. So like the chest, shoulder, all of them. Let me just go ahead and open it and show you. It'll always have these. So if you're on an alt character that you don't really care to get it, remember you can always use the command /reclaim, and it should put everything back in your inventory from all the supporter packs and expansion bonuses you have. That is a little bit of a pain sometimes because you'll have, if you have a long time account, you're going to have tons of items in your inventory again. But that's always another way to get that back if you need to. It will not do that for Mithril coins, so don't destroy your Mithril coins. Make sure you open it and put those in your inventory. You have to ask Debs if you do something wrong with that. So let's go ahead and look at this gear. So I'm going to let's make a cosmetic slot real quick here to put it on. In fact, I'm going to do this faster, so here, ready? Baruch Kazad! All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and equip this outfit. Let's check it out. Okay, my first thoughts on it immediately. Let me go ahead and just switch to my battle axe real quick here in my inventory, just so we have a different look here. My first thoughts, it's pretty legit on the dwarf, actually. I'm really impressed. And the first thing that caught my attention when I first saw this set, all right, is the shoulders. They're huge. Okay, and this is just a hunch. It's probably not the case. But I was thinking maybe they've been listening to me for the last few months, and I always say how I love having giant shoulder pads for the dwarves, and the fact that they didn't just morph the shoulder pads, squish them, they made them like really huge and broad and almost ridiculous, right? Almost ridiculously big. I love it. I just absolutely love the shoulder pads on the dwarf. I'll probably end up putting these shoulder pads on a different set just for fun to see what it looks like. The helmet is legit. The helmet is so cool. We will be seeing this on the human too, of course, and the elf and hobbit. So I will look at all of them. There's a little bit of phasing issue that happens here with the dwarf, just slightly, but yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It looks really nice, all things considered. That is really, really nice. Now, my axe is glitching out because this is a little trick. So sometimes, occasionally, you will have to switch your outfits to make it do the right one. And if it's not quite doing it still, I highly recommend leaving. If you switch between a two-hander and a one-hander all the time, for Guardians have to a lot, not everybody's going to have this issue with classes. But I would keep it in your inventory as an actual item, and you'll have to drop it in sometimes, and it'll fix the glitch. I don't know why it does that. It's just a little thing when you go between a single-handed legendary and a two-handed legendary all the time. It seems to struggle. It like erases the thought on that. I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe they'll update it later. Let's look at the battle axe here for a minute. That thing is so cool. Now, the ability you're seeing right now, I do not know if that is the actual... Let me just double check and see if it's doing the right effect here real quick. A little trick you can do sometimes is actually drop this. There we go. Drop it on the actual thing. That sometimes will refresh it, and then you can move it back. There we go. Now it fixed it. That's another little trick you can do with the drop with that. Remember, it always does come with the normal weapons or as a filler, just for the reason of dropping it in the main slot. You always have to have some filler in one of these 3 slots. Wow, look at that. So that's the effect there. I'd like to see it also happening on the bow. So let's go ahead and make sure... Okay, there it is. The effect on the bow. All right, so that is pretty darn cool. I wonder what it looks like on the shield. You know? Let's bring back up my... Let's put my shield back up. I want to see the shield real fast. I want to see its effect. In fact, we're going to go into the dark here in the shadow just to see the effect a little better. Because this is a full in-depth review opening. I'm here to help you decide if you want to get it for yourself and to show you how cool it is. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. In fact, look at this. It's like a cool pattern. Very cool. It's okay on the crossbow, but the axe looks legit. I'm really curious to see it on the shield. So... we're going to see it on the shield real fast. Let me go ahead and bring up my shield again. So I need to equip my shield here. I need to switch back to... Now this is, that's the electric effect. We don't want to see that. That's the other one. This is the effect. Oh, that's pretty cool. But let's see it on a better shield. Let me switch to my other set. All right, there we go. Big shield. Oh, that looks really, really cool. And visually, it's very clean. Very nice and clean. We're getting a beautiful 130 frames right now. That is a gorgeous animation there. What does it look like on the back? Does it... Oh, look at the back. What the heck? It's going crazy. It goes long ways the other... It goes opposite the other way. That's kind of interesting. Wow, that's really nice. I really, really like that animation. It's very, very cool. You can try it on different weapons and different shields yourselves or bows. Each one's going to look a little different on how the skin works and how it looks uniquely, right? Now what I want to do is I want to put back on my two-hander, and I want to go back to the main set here, which I put it on. I got so many. There we go. All right, so there we go. It looks very, very nice. That is a cool battle axe. Now, another way we can look at the battle axe, which is very handy, is there's the one movement animation from the other supporter pack, which I'm going to use right now. So let's go to movement animation, and I want the move defender. There we go. Now we can get a good look at the battle axe here. So there is the battle axe. So it is a ceremonial battle axe. They made that very clear. It's pretty legit. So if you notice what it is the Tree of Gondor, I believe, and then 2 swan wings, like the Swan Knights of Gondor. It looks legit. And also, look at the gloves. Look at the hand, the detail on the gloves. Now, I know my arm kind of... This animation is kind of glitchy for the dwarf. It kind of makes your wrist look like it's broken. But that's okay. Look at the end of the weapon here. That's pretty cool. It's got like a little flowered hilt. I guess you'd call that a hilt on an axe, right? I'm really, really impressed with how this battle axe looks. That looks really, really nice. I'm very pleased with the animation and the axe itself, just by itself. Now, you guys are probably like, well, Zollin, what does it look like without an aura entirely? This is a good question. Let's look real quick without destroying my other auras. Oops. What did it do an aura anyway? Oh, you know what? It's because it's my legendary weapon has an aura on it. That's the classic aura of the legendary weapon. That's what it is. But that still looks pretty cool. That actually looks legit. The classic aura on the legendary weapon looks pretty cool too. But you can kind of see it a little more detailed there without much other animation happening. So anyway, that's pretty legit. I am very, very happy with that design. I feel like the quality of these supporter packs, like they've all been good, but I feel like they're getting better. And that's a complete compliment to the devs and the designers. I feel like they're like putting more and more detail, and like the graphical fidelity of the textures are better. Does that make sense? Where did I put my other one? Oh, I know where I put it. Whoops. It's on the actual thing. Excuse me. Let me put this back there so we can have this back on the weapon here. If I can remember which one to click. That could be the challenge sometimes, remembering which one to click, right? All right. I could have done that off thing for a minute there. So anyway, that is it. I really like the Battle Axe. Let's look at the gear a little bit. You can kind of see the beautiful cape. The shoulders move quite very cool, actually, the shoulders. They still have a good wiggle animation even on the dwarf. I love how big they are. I know this animation makes it go into my face. I get it. I know some of you are going to be like, why is it going to your face? But it doesn't matter. I love how big they are. That is so cool. So I have been partial to large shoulder pads forever with this skin, right? With my big, these are the original shoulder pads from the Rift, long time ago, the Guardian set. The fact that these shoulders are on par, maybe not as high as the Rift. Let me go ahead and just turn back on my regular default movement. The fact that these shoulders are so big and these new Gondor ones are on par, maybe not with height, but with like size this way, makes me very happy as a dwarf player. Obviously my beard looks like it's a little bit glitching into the chest piece there, but I could always change my beard just for the cosmetic if I wanted to. Go to the barber. Let's try to look here at a little bit at the gear to finish up, and then we will switch and look at the horse. I'm really like, these details are legit. Like, for me personally, who's played this game a long time, the fact that the visual fidelity and the textures are just getting better and better. I just want you to focus on these textures right here compared to, like, if you know this game from 15 years ago. They're getting really nice. It's really, really good. It's giving, there's almost a 3D effect happening here on this, on almost a 2D texture. So that's really nice. They did some really nice work on these gloves. Honestly, these gloves will probably be really good with other outfits as well for people, because you can always mix and match, right? The cape is very cool. Let me just remove the crossbow for a moment here so we can look at the cape. The cape looks fantastic. It's really clean. Again, great textures, great animation. How does it look when we walk around? That's how it looks when we walk around. That's how the whole set looks on the dwarf when you walk around. I love it. I love how big the shoulders are. And again, I have a hunch that they've been hearing me say how I wish there were more big shoulder pads in the game. And they're like, quick, developers, make the dwarf shoulders not just shrink, make them really big. It'll make Voice of the Rings happy. No, I don't know. I'm just trolling. But good job if that's what they were doing. I'm very happy with the shoulders on the dwarf. Usually I'm a little disappointed with shoulders on the dwarf because they just can mesh and they're really tiny and they look, because they're not really designed for dwarves. They're designed for the human or something, right? So the fact that this Gondor set works so good on the dwarf makes me very happy. The knee defend caps look really cool with the little like things on the side. The boots and leggings all squish. That kind of makes sense for a dwarf. Usually, again, when they squish, they look terrible. So, and again, I know I'm spending a lot of time on the dwarf, but I main dwarf here, okay? So I like the dwarf race. I know it's the least played race in LOTRO, but I love it. I know there's a lot of other dwarf players out there. But we'll cover the other ones as well. So now let's go ahead and check out the mount. It's going to be the pony version, right, for the dwarf, unless they somehow made it big like the Clydesdale one. But let's say the Loyal Knight, Steed of the Loyal Knight. Go ahead and summon it here. All right, here we have it. That's pretty nice. So as you can see there, you have the horse. The horse is pretty much the similar horse as usual. I'd love to see some texture updates on the horse, like around the ears and like the skin and the fur a little bit. Some of them do have that, the newer ones, but it usually armored ones, they don't really do as much, and I understand. There's a Horn of Gondor on the side. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. I love this middle part here with the armored piece. Make sure we keep the light on it for us here. The textures on this blanket thing are legit. Look at the detail on that thing. You got a little, like, basic little shield here, or maybe just, like, a crest going on with the tree of Gondor. You got a little pack for you, maybe some of your goodies, these 2 little packs. I mean, that's legit. The armor going down the tail looks really cool. The tail itself could use some better visual updates, but the armor looks legit. I like the little lake caps. I mean, what are those called? I forget what they're like. Is it fetlock protection? Is that the term for the horse there? I'd have to ask my sister. She's the horse specialist. I don't remember right now. But yeah, that's really, really cool. I could probably Google it, but we're not going to waste that time. All right. So yeah, I'm really legit. Let's see a little bit of running. Try to give you guys some good animation here, what it looks like running. I've got some beautiful smooth frames going on right now. It's running really good. Hopefully my recording is catching it pretty good quality here. I'm recording it in really high definition, so. Alright, that's what it looks like from the front when it runs. It's a pretty classic horse, right? Classic horse animation. The tail, you can kind of look at, I would look at the gear. How do you like how the tail looks, the armor pieces? That front piece of armor is a little bit, maybe a little bit glitchy when the legs hit it, but not too bad. Otherwise, I like it. I mean, overall, it's a beautiful mount. It's really nice. Let's go ahead and do a walk here. This is what it looks like when it's walking. Very nice. It has a very, the armored helmet has a very majestic look on the horse. I really like the armored helmet, like a lot. It looks really, really good. Very impressed with the armored helmet. I mean, that looks legitly nice. It's really, really nice. Yeah, so I mean, that's a pretty nice mount. So let's see some sideways. All right, got some sideways walking here. Classic animation for the horse backing up. I'm not going to do this on every character. I will show you the horse on the other races, but I'm not going to do all the details on every character because the animations are going to look exactly the same. All right, let's go ahead and see us fast sideways. All right, there it is. Back we go. Backwards. I like it. I'm a fan. I like it. All right, the horse is awesome. Now let's check out the goose. We're only going to look at the goose on this because the goose is going to be the same for every single... it's the loyal goose of Gondor. So, there he... His face! Look at those eyes! Hello, master! I'm ready to help! Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're a little too zealous there, goose. Calm down. I will kill every orc I see. You don't realize how deadly gooses are. Yeah, I know. They're actually terrifying. I was a child. I was chased by some geese one time. Is it geese when they're a group and a goose if it's one? Right? Am I right on that? I think I'm right on that. But I was chased by a goose, at least one. There's an animation. All right. Now, does it have any vocal sounds that it does? I'm going to turn up ambience for a minute here. We're going to hear other ambience as well, but I'm just curious if we get any sounds out of it. Its eyes are legitly like, I mean, I feel like it's like staring into our souls. The helmet is legit. Okay, the helmet on the goose is legit. It's a 10 out of 10. The helmet is awesome. It's kind of cool because there's not really a lot of goose pets anyway. I like that it's got some feathers sticking out of the side there. Sticking out the back. That's how it kind of looks from the back there. I mean, it's a good pet if you like goose or geese. It's a good one. I really like the helmet. I would have this thing follow me around just for the fact of that helmet and that stare. It's that very serious, loyal Gondorian stare. It'll stare into the soul of all evil. Also, its feet look legitly... The textures on the feet actually look really good. It's kind of... That's about as close as I can get without it glitching out. But you can see right there, it's actually got really nice textured feet there. Very nice. Let's see it walk around. So if I run, it kind of does that. That's amazing. That's amazing, actually. What the heck? Look at it. That's awesome. It just kind of like looks like it's about to take off. I feel like the animation is actually pretty legit like what they look like when they're about to take off. But that's how he runs around. So what about if we're walking? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. Okay, the goose is amazing. Look at him. Look at him waddle. I've never seen such a majestic waddle in my whole life. A true loyal Gondorian goose right here. That is too funny. Okay, the goose is good. I like the goose. The goose is the goat. all right. We're gonna stop there. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna, I'm gonna make sure there we go. We are gonna go ahead and get on to our other character. I've showed you we've looked at the titles, the back animation for the milestone. We've looked at the horse. We've looked at the goose with the helmet, and we've looked at all the gear, the weapons, with also the weapon aura, right? And again, the weapon's aura is called the weapon aura of the Loyal Knight, and it's kind of a very fancy looking, beautiful golden pattern, right? Something you see on a tapestry. It kind of gives me the thought of. Overall, it's very nice. It's very nice. So now I think what we need to do is we need to go ahead and check the other versions. So we're gonna go straight to the human next here, because I think that's probably the best one, because this is probably it's aimed for mostly as human characters. But anyway, here we go. Baruch Kazad. All right, we're back, and we're on a human here with the knight armor, and I must say it was clearly designed for the human in mind, because it looks legit. So you can see the shoulders make much more sense in their sizing. The human, I am terribly sorry my human has a beard because it's my lore master. It probably might look a little better if you didn't have a beard phasing through some of the little points there. But anyway, still pretty darn cool. And someone's got a bear here. Look at all these bears. Now, I'm going to walk around a little bit. We'll just go down here a little bit so we don't get a lot of other noises for a second. You can kind of see how it looks when the human walks around. Looks pretty legit. Now, before you go, ooh, Zollin, where is that cool staff from? That is not part of this. Okay, I can actually tell you where you get this real fast. Just here on the side. Okay, ready? 10 seconds. It is from the instance called... It's from Angmar. It's level 50. Berid Gulran. You run that, this staff will probably drop. It is actually, I actually had the staff here. Hold on. I can just show you, because I actually want to show you a difference here. It is, it's not the Trollbane. It is this, excuse me. This one right here. It's called, Civileth. All right, there. So people don't ask me in the comments, where did you get that? That's where I got it. Now, I'm actually going to use this one for a moment, and this one, because this particular old staff I have doesn't seem to work with it correctly. So we're going to put this one on just so you can see the aura better. There you go. So there's the Gondorian aura on a staff. I cannot put the two-handed axe on here, so you'll just have to be happy with the version you saw on the dwarf, because it's pretty much the same axe. And yeah, there it is. It looks really nice on the human. I really, really like it. In a moment, we're going to look at some of the cosmetics for the changing of colors in it. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice set. So you can see the leggings make a lot more sense. They have they're a little cleaner, the textures, because they're not really being stretched. Like the dwarf is so big, it stretches some of the textures. So I noticed that the human, clearly this whole set was in mind for humans, because it's Gondor, duh. So of course it's going to look the cleanest on the Gondorian, on humans. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. You can even kind of tell the pant shapes inside. And then it's got kind of like a little belt there to like hook on your sword. This sword is just my sword that I'm using, but you can see the weapons aura actually gives off, with swords and staffs, it seems to actually give off an effect outwards where the shield didn't. And the axe didn't seem to do that either. But some of the weapons with the aura effect, there, can you see what I'm talking about? See how the aura effect actually comes off the weaponry a little bit? You can see it under the cape there. It's coming like off. So that it does do that as well, the aura effect. So keep that in mind. You can even see it up here at the top. If you hear fireworks in the background, I'm sorry. I'm recording this day before 4th of July here in America. So you're going to get some fireworks sounds. But anyway, here is, classic Gandalf moment. Just fireworks are going off everywhere. There is a, it seems appropriate on my lore master. The cape looks fantastic. I think the cape looks just as good on the dwarf as it does on the human. But, I mean, I think it looks fantastic. I think the whole set looks good. If you look, there's actually, if you look at the arms underneath, there's even detail on the underneath part of the arm cuff defenders here with the straps. Looks really, really good. I really like it. You can even see the back piece there, right there. And in fact, why don't we go ahead and look at it without the cape for a moment? Also, I probably should show you it with the cape hood on, but pretty much it's just a generic hood. So it's like a dark hood. It doesn't really... I like the helmet so much. The helmet is just so... I mean, look at that thing. It just glows in the sunshine. So, look at the detail on the back of that thing. I mean, it reminds me a lot, obviously, of my replicas right up here. You can see this one right here. It's a little bit covered up, but I've got a little plushie inside it. But the helm of Elendil right there. Yeah, it looks really cool. Except it's got the wings, which I love. It gives a very Gondorian feel of that, you know, the Dol Amroth Knight. So the swan, you know, Guardians of the Tree. Yeah, I really like this a lot. I really think it's really, really cool. So now, moving on to the next thing, let's go ahead and talk about some of the... I want to look at the different colors. In fact, you know what? We're going to stick to doing the different colors on the other character. But there's the back, too, if you didn't want to use a cape with the human. I think it looks really, really good. I think this would look really good on the captain or the champion when it comes to, like, the weapons they use, too. It has a that would be very cool. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. There goes a firework. You heard it. But yeah, anyway, that is that's the human. So let's move on. We're going to go ahead and we'll check it out on the elf real quick, and I'll do the colors on the elf, and then we will check it out on the Hobbit to finish up. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if it does help you out. And if you want to check out the spoiler pack for yourself, of course. Baruch Kazad! Alright, so just to show you on the elf real quick here, to keep in mind, you, again, get the same exact Loyal Knights Patriots Coffer on a new character. You right-click it, it's going to open up, it's going to always give you the wardrobe, and then you can always get the horse automatically, the back animation, and the Loyal Goose, alright? Automatically. That means, for example, with some of my alts, if I already have put this, let's say I put this in my wardrobe and I don't want to open it up and have to delete all the pieces because I already have them all put in my wardrobe, I would just drag and drop this particular one and delete it. But please be really careful and know which one you're doing that with. Because if you do the one before you open it, you'll lose your milestone skill, your mount, and your Loyal Goose. So make sure you remember that. But let's go ahead and open this up real quick here on my elf. We'll go ahead and pick a random skin I'm not using here on my elf. We'll go ahead and use this one. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on. Let's put the hood version on as well so you guys can kind of see. I'm going to actually put on the pieces while we go here. This will give you a good shot of the helmet without a beard, too. And then we'll do the gloves. Now, my hunter cannot use the battle axe, so I shouldn't be able to put this on, unfortunately. Let's see here. All right, so, but let's see. Will it let me do it? No, it will not. I didn't think it would. Alright, so let me go ahead and take this off temporarily. There we are. So, here it is on an elf. This is what the gear would look like. This is what it looks with the hood. The hood is nice, but again, I greatly prefer the non-hooded cloak version myself. It's not even close for me. I don't know about you guys. That's really up to you. You make your own choices. But I prefer no hood. There is the thing without a beard. You can kind of get a look at it. It's really nice. It's a really, really nice set. I really, really like it on the elf. Highly recommend. Too. Looks really good on the elf, just like it looks really good on the human. So far, it's looked good on all three of the ones we've looked at. We'll see the Hobbit in a minute. But now that we've looked at this, let's go ahead and look at the cosmetic side of it, okay? So let me bring up the cosmetic things. I want to get that... Sooner or later, I'm going to get that mod where the... not a mod, but it's an add-on that makes the wardrobe bigger. That would be nice for something like this. But again, you could always do this yourself as well. And if I figure out how to get that put on here, I'll make a video on that for you guys. We're going to go ahead and just look and kind of see the different colors here. So what if we did navy? Let's see if we get some... There's the cloak with a navy look. Oh, so that's how the colors change. Very nice. All right. So then if we were going to do all navy, there's technically no boots. Or, I mean, not... Excuse me. So it looks like the color mainly is the underneath that changes, and it looks like the gloves, the part where the tree is, changes. So pretty much where you see black, it changes. So let's see, the shoulder pads. Yeah, so the shoulder pads where there's black turns to blue or whatever color you put. The undergarments turn to the color you put. The back black drop of the tree here on the gloves turns to a blue. You can see it right there. So again, all the underneath pants, it doesn't look like the golds change. The metals change. The belt doesn't change. So you always have the silvers, the metals, the golds, the belt. None of those look like they changed. Now, interestingly enough, it does look like that lower dark area underneath the cheek changes color and those strips. So everywhere you see that dark metal on the helmet, it seems like that changes color. You can kind of see right there. So this all changes color. This does not. You can kind of see it right there in the effect. So these change color. The black spots in between the white on the cloak change color, except the inside of this triangle does not. You can kind of see it right there. But these all change color. So then you could go through yourself. I don't want to spend 30 minutes doing this on this review because I think this is pretty relevant. You could do the same thing if you wanted to before you picked what dye. But you can see there's red, what red would look like on the cloak. Looks really, really cool. Actually, the red looks really nice. I'm definitely going to experiment and find my favorite one later. I'm going to probably use this gear on I might use it on my Lore Master because it actually looks really cool. I like it on the human a lot. Let's see, what about like dark green? Yeah, it's pretty cool. So again, you could go through and change what you want. If you wanted to do red on the helmet, that looks pretty cool. Actually, the red on the helmet looks really cool. It really pops with that gold and silver and that bright red. That's really cool. So you could have a lot of fun with this and kind of figure out what your favorite colors are. Interesting enough, so the chest part, when it turns red, what the chest changes, this is very interesting to note. It looks like the chest is the one that changes the lower pants and the arms. So and inside the pretty much the clothes that are underneath. The pants and the shirt underneath or whatever it's supposed to be. That's what changes. The reason for that is if you remember, the set doesn't come with any pants. It only comes with a tunic, armor of the Royal Knight, which basically is just a chest piece. Now, I would say for the future, it would be cool if they would make it where there was a separate pants piece to the chest piece. I get why they don't always do that. It's like extra work that's kind of irrelevant. But if somebody wanted to change the pants to a different color than the arm parts, that would be kind of a nice little... That's just a little critique that I would give. But otherwise, I really like how the colors change. It looks very nice. Yeah, it looks really good with the color change. Now, I love it with the black. I'm a big fan of gold, silver, and the black looks really nice with it. And, of course, blues. I'm a big blue guy. I'm wearing blue right now. I really like blue colors. But that looks really cool. It looks really, really good. I'm very happy with it. Let's go ahead and see the back animation real quick. I just realized I didn't show you on the human the back animation, but it's the same. It's going to be identical, so we're not going to go back and do that. So let's go ahead and show you on the elf because it's going to look very, very similar to the human's animation. The elves have slightly different animations, and especially the high elf race has different animations, but usually with these special emotes, they're the same most of the time, I found. Let's go ahead and do this. Do a back animation. So there we go. And that's what it's going to look like on... That looks really, really legit, doesn't it? That looks so cool. He stands up. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I really like the back animation on the elf. It's going to look super similar to the human back animation. That is legit. Some legit animation. It looks really good. Very nice. All right, very clean. Let's go ahead and look at the horse real quick on it as well, since we're here. So I'm going to go to my horse. I'm going to go to the Loyal Knight. Oh, there we go. Let's look how big the horse is. Now, again, the horse is going to be the same size and animations as the human. So, again, I'm not going to pop back to the human for this. Very nice. Now, I notice this happens sometimes when they update it. If there's a syncing problem... Now, it doesn't really sync when you're moving, but it looks like it has a little bit of a syncing problem when you're sitting still with the legs. This happened with another cosmetic, and they updated it like a week later. So just keep that in mind. They'll probably just update that. But it looks really good and clean when you're riding. Look at that. That's nice. It's really nice, actually. Wow. That looks awesome with the cape. Woo, the flowing cape. Riding around our realm here. Our kingdom. Our kinship owns this entire valley. One of the neighborhoods, at least. We own part of another one, too. But that looks pretty legit. I'm pretty happy with the horse on the elf here. And again, the horse is going to look pretty much identical with animations and size to the human. That's usually just how they go. Elves and humans are pretty much identical size, so it makes sense. With their horses, they're going to be the same size, too, that they use. Dwarves and hobbits are the only ones that use ponies, usually. Yeah, so anyway, that's awesome. I love it. Looks fantastic. Let's see a walk animation for a second. If I click the right button here. Yeah. I like that your character actually wiggles. It wiggles a little bit like a robot. But man, I think that happens sometimes in other ones too. That's not from the supporter pack, that's just the animation in general. Oh, there we go. Actually, walking sideways looks legit. I like that the shoulders actually do move, though, on the head. It gives a very authentic feel to the movement. I like it. I like it. All right, well, with that, my friends, let's finish up with the Hobbit. So, anyway, to the Hobbit. Baruch Kazad. All right, again, like I was already showing you before with the Hobbit and everything, it'll always pop up and be in your inventory as the single one. You click it, you're going to get those 3. You're going to always turn them on. Those 3 original ones there, and then we will go ahead and open up the armor. Now, before we do the armor real quick, I just want to look at the back animation for the Hobbit. Well, you know what? We probably should have the armor on ahead of time, so it looks nicer. So let's go ahead and use this slot to put the armor on. Boop. And there we go. I already did that one. Helmet. All right, here is the little Hobbit as he adorns his gear. Looks like what Pippin was given, right? Here's the one with the hood. There's hooded Hobbit. And there is unhooded Hobbits. Alright, now, again, I am a burglar on this class. I cannot use the axe, so you're going to just have to trust me on that one there. Let's go ahead and switch to the different animations here on the daggers. Alright, so there's the animations from the Gondor on the daggers. Look pretty legit, actually. There is the Hobbit in his full regalia. Yes, it looks pretty legit. I like it on the Hobbit. Let's look in the shade. Kind of look at the gear in the shade. I mean, it looks really good on the Hobbit, too. I'm going to say 4 out of 4 with the look of the gear on all the different races. It looks really good on all 4 races. Now, in theory, there'd be a slightly different positioning for, like, the Stout Axe compared to my dwarf, which we could look on a dwarf, but, yeah, you guys can see it. I'm sure it's not much different, because the actual shaping of the gear will be the same. The Stout Axe just slightly holds their shoulders a little bit more up. So, but again, the shoulders are going to barely be adjusted, so shouldn't be a big difference there. Mainly, we'll just stick to the main 4 races here, because that's what you guys mostly want to see. There's the back. Look at that beautiful detail on that helmet. Wow. I'm blown away. It's really, really nicely textured kit. It's fun to see the... It's interesting, the Hobbit one is also kind of big. Like, they made the shoulders, they went for bigger instead of squished. I think the idea of always making it bigger, where it fills out, rather than, like, squeezing it to a smaller race, or different, like, melding it, where it kind of looks like the armor's, like, Venom. It's like moving with the character's movements. That's kind of weird to me to see heavy plate armor and it's like attached to their skin. It's like, what's going on? So I much prefer what they did here with this gear. This is really nice. Very, very nice. All right, here's a walk animation. I say here's a walk. There we go. The Hobbit walk. Hobbits walk pretty fast, actually. I didn't realize how fast. Do I have a buff on that makes me faster? No, I'm just really fast little guys. I mean, it looks great. I really like the Hobbit. Let's go ahead and see him while he's being sneaky. Sneaking in his Gondor gear. Now you can't even see him, he's invisible. Sneaky little hobbits. Sneaky little hobbitses. Anyway, I love it. I think it's really nice gear. It looks really good. Looks great on the Hobbit. Let's finish up by seeing the back animation and the horse on the Hobbit. You know, it'd be nice if I clicked the right one. How about we just use the command Shift-C? There we go. Let's start with the back animation. All right, it's called the Milestone animation. Milestone Knight. All right, we'll go ahead and use Milestone Knight animation. Let's cast it here. Does a little bow. I mean, it looks like that looks about the same size as the human and elf and dwarf one. So it looks like that doesn't change. Oh, I guess I completed the teleport by mistake. My apologies. Well, it's all right. Let's look at it again and go back. My loyalty for Gondor. The bow is legit. Like, the bow animation is really cool. I like how long it is, too. Very, very cool. And now let's go ahead and bring up the horse to finish up here. Gonna have to load the area a little bit here for a second. All right, and here is the horse on the Hobbit. You can see it's a lot tinier, obviously. It's probably about the same. It might be a little smaller than the dwarf version, but that looks pretty legit. Here's all our other mounts. Here's some basic walk animations. So he's kind of like holding a rein. I would really like it if they would add an animation. I know he's supposed to be holding reins. I'd really love it if they'd add the animation, the reins actually connected to the hand, though. That would be cool. I'd like to see that. I noticed that a lot. Some of the mounts do have the reins. Some of them don't. I think it would be nice if they all had it. Especially if it's a supporter pack. I think that would be nice if they added something like that. So I guess I have the gear and the weapons aura and the milestone animation and the goose are all amazing. I really like the horse's armor, but I feel like there's a few critiques I have for the horse, personally. But I still really like the horse. It's a really nice mount. I love the shield. I love the packs. I love that it has the Horn of Gondor on the side. The helmet's legit. The helmet is beautiful. I love the helmet on the horse. That's really good. And the armor on the tail. Those are like my favorite parts of the horse. All right, well, we've done it. We have reviewed and opened, and on all 4 races, the weapons auras, the goose, the horse, of the Loyal Knight. And again, I really like the one prefix title says Knight and then your name. That's something new they've been doing with certain titles, and that's really cool because like there's one that's like Proud they have, and it's from earning a deed. And actually, I think we showed that in one of our kinship events. But anyway, thank you so much for being here today, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you watched the whole thing, thank you. Hopefully this will help you decide if you'd like to get it for yourself. It's really, really cool. Again, thank you to Standing Stones for letting me have it to review. I appreciate that. I really love getting the supporter packs, but it's really great that they give it to me to review for you guys, and I gave you my honest opinions on it. I really do like it a lot, and I think it's really, really cool. Thank you to my Patreons for their support as well. I do this channel full-time, so I appreciate it. Liking and subscribing is free! Ha ha ha! And have a great day, Middle-earth, guys. We do Lord of the Rings stuff here. Occasionally I do reviews of this. I actually do some reviews of replicas in real life as well, if you're interested in that. It's on my playlist here. Well, I have all my playlists organized. You just go to my homepage. Thank you, Reb, Elrandor, and Angus for being Royal Guards, and all of my other supporters. And you guys have a great day, Middle-earth. And again, you can always join our Discord. And my kinship plays on the server Glamdring, if you ever want to come hang out, or you ever want to check this game out. I got lots of guides on this game, too. Bunch of guides. So, as well as a voiceover series. Hence, Voice of the Rings. Alright, guys. Well, have a great day, Middle-earth. I'll see you all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Stay happy. Baruch Hazar, Kuzar, and Menu. And I'm at your service and your families, as always. See you in the next one, guys. Thank you.